Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? I'm Dan from Trading with Dan, and this is our Bitcoin morning update. So once again, apologies for the offensive haircut. When skin fade, tomorrow morning actually. So you won't have to see it for too many more videos. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Anyway, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. Yeah, so Bitcoin on the 4 hour. Yeah, pretty textbook again. We were kind of looking at this trading below 55,000, and obviously then this being the target, this support level, which we pretty much came down, got to within a few dollars. And then nicely bounced off that on, incidentally, a 4 hour 9. So bounced off that on a 4 hour 9, and then came back and tested our mid range again. So one of those inflection points. Do we hold below 55 and come back down? If we do, then you would have to suggest there is a better than zero likelihood that we can then lose this 52,000 and start to come and play some of these ranges, and we'll just extend along the midpoint of this range, because that would be our first, that would be our initial target around 50k. Or the alternative is we manage to get back above 55,000, close 4 hours above there, and at which point we can then try to populate this range, and then potentially have another go at this 58,500 resistance level. Obviously we can see whilst we had an inverted head and shoulders of sorts, that obviously failed, and are we now going to print a regular head and shoulders, and is that going to fail or not fail also? So we'll have to bear in mind that emerging pattern. But either way, as you look at the moment, we could see low, high, low, and just about by the skin of its teeth a higher low. So yeah, still not the worst looking chart for this potentially being this medium term local low, and we'll continue onwards and upwards. But yeah, I mean, realistically, I think this 55,500 level is pretty important. Get back above there, break into this level, break into this zone here, and then we could be looking good again. And then obviously, if we hold down here and start to come back down, then yes, you would probably suggest we've got a better than 50% chance of breaking below here. Then we'll be testing either 50 or 46. So. Ethereum, Bitcoin though, the big winner in recent days. It still just kind of amazed me how quick crypto can move when it wants to. We have this larger time frame pattern. Channel drawn in. That's it. And yeah, like I was saying, targeting the top, but just for us to literally go straight up there, just quite incredible, really. But then that's what crypto does. It's kind of like if we're going to go there, we might as well just go there straight away, and then bang, we're there. But nonetheless, we're there now. So we've hit major levels. I mean, literally to the dot. This is where this level has been, to the dot. So that's pretty crazy in itself. But yeah, we're there now. We are rejecting, putting in a definite indecision candle. This is on the daily time frame as well. Indecision candle on the daily. So are we going to trade some sideways to down from here? Potentially. What would be a good target to the downside if that is how we're going to play it? Basically this previous level. This around 0.052, 0.053 level would be a good pullback level. And then if we hold above that, start to move back up again, trade out this range, then yeah, we could be looking at that actual breakout of this long-term channel, to the upside if that is what happens, and that can give us some targets all the way up to these levels that you can see, which will be pretty juicy moves. Are we already moving in anticipation of Ethereum upgrades? Are we moving in anticipation of Uniswap v3 and the implications for that for DeFi, which is obviously mainly Ethereum based? Whatever the reasons are, it is looking good. The trend is your friend. About roughly 40% first target, 70-80% second target, and about 144% third target against Bitcoin. if we do indeed break out the top of this channel. But like I said, I mean, I would suggest the actual bullish case scenario is that we just trade out this zone for a bit, maybe backtest this level, and then come and take it up. I mean, it would be pretty incredible for it to just to blast straight up, but it could happen. It could happen, but things don't necessarily go up in a straight line. But I'll show you something that does go down in a straight line, and that is this Bitcoin dominance. I mean, we pretty much said this is in free fall now. There's no targets. Once we're below this level, there are targets, but they're all the way down here. So yeah, we're in free fall, which is good to see. It is good to see. I mean, realistically, this is the next level that we can potentially get supported at. Obviously, we can get phantom levels, bounces within this move down. Clearly, we will, as just some people decide to take profits or do whatever they want to do. But yeah, realistically, there's no real support until we get down to here. So this is clearly looking pretty incredibly bearish and incredibly bullish for altcoins. But yeah, I mean, it is pretty incredible. The I'm literally saying in a video one morning, it's a bit unreasonable to expect Ethereum to go up in dollar value whilst Bitcoin's going down, and then that's literally what it does over the course of the next day in spectacular fashion. So yeah. It is pretty crazy, isn't it? But yeah, Ethereum obviously doing well, altcoins doing well, Bitcoin just trading sideways within a range, which yeah, I mean, that is pretty much what I've been looking at for Bitcoin for a while. So it's good to see that. It would also be good to see us get supported here and start to move up though, because we don't want to be taking out these lows and then actually looking like we wanted to test some actual downside. Like some major downside, as in potentially even down to anywhere down to 30k. You could look at this as potential distribution. So I mean, that's clearly why we want to be holding this level, to not confirm that. And then yeah, just sideways, make people wonder, make people worry a bit, get that fear and greed going up a bit, and then we can catapult to the upside. That is the desired scenario. But obviously we'll have to see what happens. But just bigger picture wise, I think we are in the last throes of finance 1.0, but that it can clearly go on for a few more years if they want to, just with his exponential money printing. So we could just get hyperinflation in inverted commas with all asset classes, stocks, bonds, precious metals. Well, precious metals struggle obviously, but also cryptos. So yeah. This could go on for a lot longer than people think. So until we actually start to see some serious problems with well, realistically, it will be social disorder, I guess, that when people can't really afford food, that the markets then may eventually then do something pretty dire. But until that happens, realistically, you just got to go with the trend of the dollar down, stock markets up, crypto up. And yeah, you just trend as your friend until the end. 10 years, you can see not doing a lot, just holding this level basically that we were kind of looking at for it to basically range in. I mean, you can see we had quite a bit of previous price action here, so it kind of makes sense for us just to hold within this range, pretty much, well, not smack bang, but in the middle of that range, comfortably in the middle of that range at the moment. How is our favorite precious metal silver doing? Yeah, looking good. It is looking good. Do I want to draw a larger time frame bull flag here? Why not? Not obviously drawn in perfectly accurately, but either that anyway, we can kind of see, we can kind of get the idea. So yeah, potentially we'll look for a move out of this. And then if we wanna put a projected price target, we'll borrow this one now, because it seems that didn't necessarily play out. Yeah. in fact, it's pretty much going to be the same, isn't it? Just starting from a bit of a different level. Yeah, we could see, well, there you go, 40. Let's see if I can shift this straight. Look, it works horizontal and for horizontal and vertical lines. But yeah, yeah, that would be a nice move for silver into the $40. So if we look at this on a large, well, we're on a daily anyway. But yeah, I was gonna say we're on a daily. Yeah, this is obviously going back to our all-time highs around nearly $50. We'll just put it on a weekly so we can kind of see a bit of perspective. Yeah, it would be getting us up there, and then a little bit of a squeeze higher to take out this $50, and then we will be in full price discovery for this. I'm not saying this is necessarily going to happen overnight, but I do expect this is going to be the play. Especially if Finance 1.0 keeps the cogs whirring for a bit longer. Let's just have a look at the most disgusting chart in crypto, just to see if it's showing any signs of life here. It kind of was, and then got absolutely slaughtered. As you can see here, showing signs of life and absolutely hammered down again. So we were waiting for the next signs of life, but I mean, clearly there is a lot more going on with Ethereum. There's not necessarily a lot more going on than compared to Wise, but there is a lot going on in Ethereum. There is a lot planned for Wise, but I guess some of it's got to materialize and start having an impact. But realistically, Ethereum is dragging this up anyway in the dollar value. So if this does ever get going, some small retraces in this overall move down are actually gonna on top of the fiat value that it's gone up due to the Ethereum going up, as in the USD value of Wise going up because of Ethereum. If this starts to go up on its own accord, it's going to seriously pump some of those gains. So yes. What else do you want to look at? The stochastics, I guess. Stock market's holding up there or thereabouts, as you can see. Yeah, holding up there. I mean, if it carries on in this vein for too much longer, this could maybe start to look like a bit of distribution, and then we could start to look for lower levels. Obviously, this being an obvious target, but that is yeah, it's not unreasonable, to be honest. But we shall see. Lots of things have been thrown at the market recently, like tax hikes and wealth taxes and things like that, and markets just don't care. All they care about is the Fed and the printing, which is obviously going to continue. It continues until it doesn't. So yes, a stochastic 4 hour on Bitcoin at a very deep level. So if this does turn up and get going, this is a very good bullish reset here. If we are then going to start to push upwards from here, that could give us a lot of room to run, basically. We shall wait for this 10 hour, which takes ages to load up every day. 10 hours to load up and see how that is doing. Yeah, 10 hour is diving as well. So you could potentially look at that as a bullish reset, whilst ever we obviously hold around the just under sub 55k level. This will eventually turn back up from what will obviously be a deep level, so that would be bullish. We're not there at the moment. It's clearly pointing down. It's clearly a downward bias at the moment, along with 12 hour also, and daily. Well, daily's still looking okay. 2-day looking good. 3-day looking to turn back over, and then these higher time frames will still be coming down. But yeah, so a bit of a mixed picture, but it does have in my opinion anyway, a slight bias to just bullishly resetting these stochastics after obviously this crazy move up, a bit of sideways resetting them, and if they do start to all align and we do hold around this 55,000 level, then I think we could yeah, I mean, these shorter time frames could then obviously get dragged up to the middle time frames, which will obviously have these all in confluence, and then eventually feed through to the higher time frames, and then that would pretty much, I think, give us the move, well, realistically, I think, into the 80Ks. So yeah, that on the card. Obviously the downside is we lose these horizontals. The actual higher time frame ones do play a more serious pullback. I mean, I've spoke about kind of the levels we're looking at. Well, the levels we are looking at are basically around 30k and 20k if we do put in a medium-term pullback. I mean, if you want to look at this in the context of a weekly, I mean, it clearly doesn't look unreasonable for this to pull back. Well, I mean, the most reasonable level potentially even looks around 20k if we look at this on a weekly. So I'm not calling 20k Bitcoin, but that is just what could be on the cards if we do fully reverse this trend and go into a bear market, which, like I said, I don't think we're gonna do. But if we do, I mean, we have to be cognizant of the potential outcomes, because nothing in trading, especially in crypto, ever works out quite how you think it's going to. Usually we are quite blessed in crypto that these extreme moves just tend to happen in our favor. It just tends to be they go up further than we expect them to. But obviously things can come down, and then they can potentially come down further than a lot of people could expect them to. So I mean, realistically, if you're expecting it to potentially have the potential to get down to 20k, at least you won't be caught off guard, not knowing what is going on. So yeah, there you go. Definitely went on a bit too long there, but not too much else to talk about. I mean, obviously Ethereum's making moves, but it's been doing that same thing for a few days. Bitcoin has been trading sideways, which it has been doing for a few days. Stock market's trading sideways, which they have been doing for a few days. So not too much else really for me to talk about. So I've clearly padded the video out with some just some of my extra thoughts and views. So yeah, there you go, guys. Anyway, remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.